Hey guys, Muhammad Raven here, and welcome to the second part of my Let's Play guide of The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2. In the last episode, we fainted out after facing a giant metal golem thing, and now we're in a bed. Let's see what happened after that.
Where am I now? Celine, this looks just like my room. I knew it. I'm back in Ymir. I'm finally back home. My memories are kind of hazy now, but I think that means everything that happened in the mountains.
Why'd it get so cold all of a sudden? Oh, you finally woke up?
Yeah, just a second ago. How about you? Feeling better after a cat nap?
I guess. I slept more than I meant to, actually. You're awake.
Elise! Good morning. Actually, it's probably closer to noon now, isn't it? Elise?
Oh, I'm so happy that you're awake. You don't know how scared I was. There was all that chaos in the capital, and then we lost all contact with you. We had no idea where you were. I'm just so relieved.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for worrying you so much, Elise.
No, you don't need to apologize. I knew that somewhere out there you were all right, and that you'd come back safe. Welcome home, Reen.
It's good to be back, and thanks.
I see our two little lovebirds are as Twitter-pated as ever. Pardon? Good morning, Reen. And to you as well, Elise.
Hey there. Just swinging by to see how you're holding up.
You're here too, Your Highness? I'm really not dreaming then.
Oh, you're so silly, Reen. I would have thought the warmth of your dear sister pressed against your chest was proof enough of that. Your Highness, please!
Well, I'm just glad you're up. How are you feeling? Still sore? You've been fast asleep since we brought you back here yesterday.
I don't have any serious injuries, at least. But I doubt I'd be able to say that if you hadn't come when you did. Thanks, Toval.
I suppose I owe you my thanks, too. That art of yours didn't come a moment too soon.
You're both very welcome. I just didn't want to give these two young ladies anything to cry about.
Aww.
I see you're finally up.
Dad! Mom!
Hello, Reen. It's wonderful to see you back home.
I imagine you have plenty of questions running through your mind, but first and foremost is getting you something to eat. We can discuss what to do from here on out after that.
Okay, so right now he's going to follow a couple of conversation without commentary, so I will try to read them. But I won't be reading every single line of dialogue that is not voiced, just letting you know that out there right now. Okay, first we're introduced to Reen's mother and father. And now, let's see what happened between the last game and this one. It's been a month now since that so-called Noble Alliance occupied Heimdall. That's the capital of the Empire, for those who don't know. At present, They have effectively all of the nation's major cities under their control. The Imperial Army tried what they could to stop their advances, but the majority of their forces have been already defeated. I had a feeling that would be the case. If nothing else, at least you two are safe. Also, editor's note, I am not gonna make female voices. I'm just gonna read normally. I'm sorry about that. We were Saint Astraea when the capital was occupied, so we were caught up in the chaos too. It was only thanks to Toval appearing and rescuing us that we're sitting here now. What were you doing there, Toval? I got an urgent request to escort Her Highness and Miss Elise to safety. As soon as I got that, I booked it there as fast as I could. I never turned down a personal request from Prince Olivert, you know. Prince Olivert asked you? Well, that explains it. He kindly escorted us out of the capital, successfully evading the Noble Alliance's attempt to pursue us. And roughly 10 days later, we were able to reach Emir. I'm just so glad that you made it here safely. Unfortunately, it appears His Majesty the Emperor and Crown Prince Cedric fell into the Alliance's hands. The official story is that both of them have been taken into protective custody, so they're both rumored to be safe. However, Prince Olivert's whereabouts currently remain unknown. There's not even a confirmation that he's safe somewhere? That's more than a little worrying. You needn't be so concerned. I'm sure he's perfectly well. He made it through the chaos in Liberl last year unharmed, as you know. He's always been a resilient one. Yeah, it's the Prince Olivert was actually one of the characters that appeared in the first arc of the Trails series, the Trails in the Sky arc. It's not a major spoiler, but just willing to say that right now. As for Cedric, father, and mother, I'd like to believe they're alright too. I'm sure they are, Your Highness. I worry about the Imperial family as much as anyone, but if you don't mind me interjecting... Reen, I imagine you're probably most concerned about what happened to Trista and Thors. Luckily for you, we managed to get some info on that front. Please tell me everything you know. What's happening over at the Academy? Is everyone alright? I don't think this will come as much of a shock to you, but... both Trista and Thor's military academy are completely under the Noble Alliance's forces' control now. They were both taken over not long after the war began. No. Reen? No matter how much I thought about it, I didn't want to believe that it was true. What about the students and our instructors? Honestly, I wish I had more I could tell you. There are rumors that they resisted being occupied as long as they could, but not much more than that. Try not to let concern get the best of you. It's too early to presume the worst has happened. Yeah, I'm with Lord Schwarzer here. On the contrary, some rumors would even suggest the opposite. What rumors? Word has it that a number of students and staff are unaccounted for, and the Noble Alliance is still trying to find them. Then that means... have some of them managed to escape? Well, rumors are rumors. Still, your classmates and Sarah have more than gotten their feet wet at this point. I can't see them being taken down easily. The odds sound pretty good if you ask me. What say you? What else can I say? I would have to agree. Celine? I couldn't tell you where she is now, but Emma's still alive, that's guaranteed. You can tell? I'm her familiar, so we got a link of some kind between us. If anything were to happen to her, trust me, I know about it. All I know is that she's alive, though, nothing else. How peculiar. Anyway, there's no point assuming the worst when there's every chance that it hasn't happened. So try keeping the faith, alright? Also, I'm not seeing or hearing right now, but I hope my footage isn't off sync. Think of it this way, they're probably just as worried about you as you are for them, and yet here you are, safe and sound. Got a point, actually. Safe and sound you may very well be, but you are hardly in peak condition. Take this chance to stay home for a time and recover your strength. And while you're here, why not go pay everyone a visit? The whole village is being eagerly awaiting your recovery. That's true, I think they'd all be delighted to see you. And if you'd like, I'd be happy to accompany you. Thanks for the concern, Elise, but I'll be fine on my own, honest. That sounds like a good idea, Mom. I think I'll do just that. And now we get to the title of Prologue, The Depths of Despair. Okay, so now we're giving the tutorial on how event markers work. Red is for a story event. Green is for sorry. Green is for side quests. There are a lot more, trust me. Now we can see Mir's map with the square button, and we can actually use it for quick travel later down the line as we visit places. So right now what we are gonna have to do is visit different people in different locations for some dialogues, but I'm not going to show you every one of them. For instance, the ones in the Schwarzer mansion talking about Reen's mother and father, I'm probably not gonna show. However, I am going to show Elise, Alfin, and Tovol. But for example, in the Phoenix Wings, I know we get the recipe book, and that lone exclamation point next to the Septian Church will give us the fishing book and the fishing rod. But other than that, nothing much really. So what I'm gonna do is actually do something slightly different. I am going to visit each and every location, and in editing you're probably gonna see it. I'm gonna cut to every different conversation. The first one with Reen's mother can be seen in the Schwarzer Mansion kitchen. Just go back when the game starts and go into the next room. However, this conversation doesn't have any interesting plot-related info, so I am going to skip it. The second conversation is actually kind of important now that I think about it, and it is with Reen's father. Just gonna have to visit him here in his office. In this conversation, and I'm going to talk over as it goes along, basically it says that the Noble Alliance, the bad guys, haven't come to Ymir yet, and that's good, even if Reen's father is a baron, aka a noble, but it's a very remote area, so it's not really a big deal, since Reen's father, Baron Schwarzer, wants to remain neutral. It also explains concern that a certain person is gone missing. And that's this guy, Viscount Victor S. Xseed, the father of one of our classmates, considered to be the strongest swordman in the Empire. If you want to read exactly what they're saying, I suggest you pause. I'm going to give you some frames to do that. But for now, I'm just going to go as fast as I can here. I'm sorry. Now I'm going to take care of the two less important conversation. The first one that I'm going to do is outside in Ymir Valley in order to get the fishing book. Don't worry, we're gonna get back here. You speak to the woman here with the pink hair. I'm just gonna fast forward, it doesn't tell you a whole lot. She gives you the fishing rod and the fishing book. Sorry if I skipped that too far. Get the fishing book and get the tutorial on how fishing works. And I actually suggest you fish quite a lot, considering that you will get points when you get when you fish new, well, fish. And you can trade them for points. There are some very rare courses that you can get only with this system, so look for fishing spots around the world. There are 20 fish to catch, and 19 are out in the world. The 20th will be unlocked as soon as the other 19 have been fished.
This spot looks perfect for fishing.
If you miss a fishing spot, you don't need to worry, because right here, right in this place, you will be able to get all the fishes in the game as the story progresses. Fishing works like this. In a fishing spot, you throw your rod, press the X button when it says hit, and then you have to press repeatedly the buttons that the display will tell you to in order to get the fish. It gets harder as the game progresses.
Caught one.
When you catch a fish, you will be getting points, normal depending on the fish, extra points depending on the size, and you will get extra points even more for more fishes actually when you get the fish for the first time. There are actually more fishes than I thought. There are 24 in this game actually. Each fish actually has some items to give you whenever you get them. This one gives a Mirage Cephid, for example. And fishing also is useful to recover CP, but it's more for later. I really don't need it now. You can fish only a set amount of times in a fishing spot, and when you go to 0, you can use a ground bait to actually refill the fish counter by 3 points. Then you talk with how she's called, Annabelle here, to exchange angler points in order to get some special items. The fighter badge is actually decent, but I'm not gonna get it. Blind is very good, and I will be getting one later down the line, I can assure you. But for now I don't have the points, so I'm not gonna bother. Now let's go back to Ymir and let's get the other book we're supposed to be getting. And to get that, we need to go this way to the Phoenix Wings. We're gonna be back here later for story advancements. You go this way here in the kitchen, you talk to the chef. I'm gonna skip this conversation, mind you. He's going to give you a new recipe book. It gives you the recipe for the salty onigiri. I'm sorry, it's skipped. And it also gives you some ingredients to play around with. And here's the tutorial on how cooking works. Basically, you use ingredients to cook dishes, and dishes have effect like healing, for example. And it's actually a very cheap way to get healing items. And since I'm playing on hard mode, I'm probably going to abuse it. And when we get another party member later, there is actually a trick that you can use with the salty onigiri to actually farm an infinite amount of money, basically. But for now, I'm gonna get to that later. Basically, how cooking works, every character has an affinity for a certain dish. Depending on the affinity, you can get 4 types of dishes. The normal one, a superb one, which is like the normal, only enhanced, a peculiar, which usually is an offensive item that can deal damage or status ailments, and a unique dish, which can have a different effect from the superb or regular one. It's basically just a different version of the original dish, and it can be cooked by one character alone. As you can see, You can see who has a great affinity for dishes only after it's been made once, and you don't see it. Actually, you will have to experiment quite a lot. There is one trophy that you can get for completing the recipe book by getting all the 20 recipes, as well as filling up every single result slot for each recipe. So I suggest you get cooking, guys. Now, the next few conversations with Elise, Alfin, and Dovell actually have some degree of plot relevance, so I am going to show them, and thank God they're actually voiced. I'm going to leave the one with Dovell for last. For now, let's just do Elise and Celine, actually.
Oh, here you are, Elise. I wasn't expecting to find the two of you together.
Well, it's quite cold outside, so I thought I'd come and give Celine some warm milk. I keep telling her that she doesn't need to go out of her way for me, but she won't listen. The steam here is plenty to keep me warm. Oh no, that wouldn't do at all. You saved my brother's life. At least allow me to try and make your stay here in Ymir a comfortable one.
Celine saved my life? And when exactly did this happen?
I told her nothing of the sort. I keep trying to tell her it's not true, but she won't believe a word I say. Is something the matter?
Nope, not a thing.
I'd really rather you didn't act like I saved his life, though. Besides, if anything, I should be the one who owes you. What do you mean? Nothing. Forget I said anything. The milk's cooled down a little now, so I'm going to have some. Thank you.
Thinking back on it, didn't Elise later say she spotted a cat when she went into the old schoolhouse? That better not have been who I think it is.
Don't give me that look. I wouldn't have let her in there if I didn't think it was safe, you know? I was desperate. You just had such a half-hearted reaction to that door, so I started getting impatient and...
I can't believe you! She could've...
She wasn't in any danger, honestly. The Guardian in there was designed not to attack people unrelated to the trial. It didn't touch her even when she was right in front of it, right? That's proof enough. I'm sorry, okay? I never should have done it to begin with. Emma's lectured me over and over about it, too.
You're sorry? You...
I'm not sure why you're whispering to one another, but regardless, I want you to know how much I appreciate what you did. Like I said before, I want to make your stay a comfortable one. Whatever you need, please don't hesitate to ask. It's okay, really. And, sorry. Why are you sorry?
Well, she does genuinely seem to regret what she did. And Elise didn't come to any harm. I guess I'll let her off this time. I really do have one amazing little sister. Compared to her, I'm...
And this actually unlocks the character tab in our notebook. This is going to be hell. In order to get the trophy for this one, you actually need more than one playthrough, which is why I am not going to get it in this guide, unfortunately, but I am going to show you how you can get them all, just in case you're doing as a second playthrough of this. Basically, you talk to specific characters at specific times or during specific events, and in the character notebook, in their page, you get extra details. Compared to the last game, you actually see where the notebook is updated, down in the lower left corner. Okay, let's get to the next one. So for the next one, we need to go this way in the church, and we're going to meet with Alfin.
She's praying so intently. Thinking about it, she must be even more distressed right now than I am.
Why, hello, Reen! You're looking rather well today. Much better than you were yesterday, at any rate.
I feel loads better, actually. Thanks. How about you? Are you managing all right here? I'm guessing life in a tiny village like this is harder than you're used to. If there's anything I can do to make things easier for you, though, don't hesitate to let me know.
Oh, not at all. I've been simply loving my stay here. The scenery is stunning. The hot springs are oh so soothing. To say nothing of your mother's spectacular cooking. I'm having the time of my life here. I almost envy Elise for growing up in such a wonderful place.
I'm happy to hear you say that. Still.
On top of all that, I was able to reunite with you here. Oh, and meet a mysterious talking cat, too. Not everyone gets to do that now, do they? I still haven't had the pleasure of meeting that Ashen Knight of yours, however. Perhaps I might have the chance once he wakes up? I suppose I can dream.
Well... I realize I'm the last person who has any right to say this, but there's no need to force yourself to bottle everything up and put on a brave face. I know how worried I am about my classmates, so I can only imagine how you must feel.
I'm so sorry. I'm supposed to be royalty. I shouldn't be getting all worked up about something like this, but just thinking of what my family must be going through is just too much to bear. Cedric and we had a fight on the morning it all happened. I was planning to make up with him that evening, but
I'm sure he won't hold that against you. You'll be able to make up with him next time you see him. I'm sure that'll be sooner than you think, too. But in the meantime, there's no need to force yourself to seem like being apart from them isn't bothering you. Royalty or not, no one would blame you for being worried or upset. And every single one of us here wants to do what we can to help you.
Thank you. I'm fine now. I hope I don't sound ungrateful, but I think you should be spending more time with Elise rather than me. This is your first chance in a while to spend some quality time together. I'd hate to take that away from her.
Why? I mean, it's true that she's a little more dependent on me than you'd expect for a girl her age. But that doesn't mean she needs me hovering around her all the time. Then again, she did seem more shaken up than usual. Maybe you're right. I should try and cheer her up while I still can.
That's not exactly what I meant. Oh, this is so difficult on a fair maiden's heart, I hope you know. You're just making me wish you were my brother all the more.
Why?
Okay, with that out of the way, I actually remembered there are a couple of things we're supposed to be buying. So we're gonna fix that right now. Go to the shop, Plover, right here. And speak with Camilla at the counter here. Skip, skip, skip. Shop. You can buy these two books. You don't need to read them, just need to buy them in order to get the trophy for getting all the books. Also, I'm going back to get the puppy watch for later. But for now, I'm going to use the exchange function here to sell the Cephid masses that we got from random encounters up until now. You actually get a lot more money compared to the last game. For one Cephid mass you get 10 Mira in Cold Steel 1 in this game, and every Trails of Cold Steel game afterward, thank god, you get 20, which actually makes gathering money much easier and less of a hassle. Also, you may want to take the chance to buy some battle scopes. I'm gonna buy 5, and I think that's gonna be it for now. Anyway, last conversation that we can get is at the Valley's Echo, right in front of Plover. we're going to talk with Toval, and this conversation is actually rather interesting. Oh, by the way, you can actually talk with Gerald right here. And he will give you some fluffy pancakes for free. Food items are actually very valuable in this game, since they heal 3000 HP, and unlike healing with arts, by the way, I should be saying, items heal for a fixed amount of HP, so it's actually good to know. Also, fluffy pancakes gives us the ability to move much farther in the arena. But anyway, back to the conversation with Toval.
If you've come to thank me for saving your butt again, save it. I'm just glad I made it in time. Princess Alphen and that sister of yours are the ones you should be talking to. You were on their minds this whole time.
Yeah, I can tell. I really do appreciate you coming for me, though. I was pretty far out from town, so I didn't think anyone would find me. Just goes to show what bracers can do, I guess.
About that. I wasn't actually the one who found you.
You weren't?
2 days ago, I got a call out of nowhere on my Arcus. They gave me this crazy amount of detail on exactly where to find you, then they just hung up. Didn't even say who they were. I figured it couldn't hurt to go take a look, and sure enough, there you were.
That's strange. I wonder who it was.
Wish I could tell you. I couldn't even recognize their voice. Nah, that's not really true. It was kind of familiar. Maybe. Whatever. No use dwelling on it. Right now we've got bigger problems to tackle than mystery callers. There's the war for starters.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Have you and the rest of the guild been doing much?
Well, we've been trying. We're pretty limited on what we can do. Partly because we've all been split up since the war broke out. I don't even know if any of the others in Erebonia are okay. Sarah included.
It sounds like things have gotten even more serious since I was away.
Sure has. Not even regular civilians have been able to escape being affected by it. As it stands, the Noble Alliance has the overwhelming advantage. But the Imperial Army's showing no signs of surrendering to them, particularly in a few regions across the country.
I see.
Oh, and another thing you might hear. We've been getting reports of a few Jaeger Corps taking part in the war too. Even members of Ouroboros.
Ouroboros? That secret society?
That's the one. Jaegers being employed here in Erebonia is nothing new, but there's way more of them here these days. As for Ouroboros, they're probably just trying to stir up trouble of their own. It's what they do best. Then there's the fact that Erebonia isn't the only place with problems right now. Crossbell's full of them too. There's so much to freak out about these days, it could drive you insane. Sorry, you've got enough on your plate without me dumping all this on you, huh? Try saving all those bad thoughts you got piling up for another day, okay? You need to focus on relaxing. You can decide what you want to do after that.
Sure. Thanks, Toval. You're probably right. You're just a fountain of good advice, huh?
I've just got a few years' worth of life experience on you, that's all. Oh, and while I'm giving you good advice, why not take a dip in the hot springs? Could be a nice way to clear your head.
It probably would. Hasn't let me down before. Maybe I should pay a visit to the Phoenix Wings later.
You may want to keep in mind that detail about who warned Toval about Reen's whereabouts. You'll see what I mean later. Anyway, we talked with everyone, so now we can go to the Phoenix Wings. By going to the Phoenix Wings and visiting the baths, the story will advance, but you can do it without any major concerns. Shops will be available later, so I really don't see the need for actually being careful. Skipping this, because it's nothing major. This will give us access to the baths. Okay, so I'm gonna drop a save here. I'm gonna do that often just because I don't want to lose bits of recording. There we go. And now I'm gonna get into the baths. There's nothing else to get. I checked my notes, so we can go inside without any problem.
You really can't beat an outdoor hot spring. Feels like all the fatigue that's been building up inside me is melting away. I don't think I realized just how exhausted I was until I came in here. Still, what am I supposed to do now? Chancellor Osborne's been shot, the capital's been occupied, and now even Trista and the Academy are under the Noble Alliance's control. Then there's Crow. That was practically a joke. I didn't stand a chance against him. Even borrowing the power of something like a divine knight wasn't enough to fight him on equal terms. Far from it. It was hopeless from the start. I didn't realize before, but he was holding back against me the whole time. Even without that trump card of his, he could have defeated me effortlessly. And yet there was me, all happy, thinking that I'd won, right before he knocked me back with a single blow. If only I wasn't so weak. If only I'd been able to hold my ground, maybe things would have been different. Instead, I ended up running away and leaving everyone else behind. There's no point in blaming how things ended on Celine or Valimar. None of this is their fault. This is all on me. Because of that, I've lost everything. I'd finally found a place where I felt I belonged, and people to share it with, and I lost it all. I thought my life was finally gaining some direction, but now I feel totally lost again.
Reen? Sorry if I'm bothering you.
Elise, did you want to use the springs too?
I heard you were here. So I thought that perhaps I could come and join you.
I mean, I know we used to come in here together when we were kids, but we're a little old for that now, don't you think? I'm not so sure it's the best idea.
Please, we're siblings. There's no need to feel so self-conscious. And you must be exhausted after all that's happened. So I thought the least I could do was come and wash your back for you.
I am not going to comment into these Japanese brother-sister tropes, by the way.
The water's nice and toasty, huh? Truth be told, I haven't taken a dip here for some time. I'd forgotten how pleasant it was to sit here and admire the snow.
Yeah, same here. Bathing during the fall when the leaves are changing has its charms, but something about watching the snow really relaxes me. And it's plenty relaxing even without a bottle of sake in hand, despite what Master Kafai might tell you.
He's always been a heavy drinker. To say nothing of the fact that Father can never turn down the opportunity to help him finish a bottle or three whenever he visits.
I'm sorry. You came out here because you were worried, didn't you?
Oh no, not at all. That wasn't why I came here at all. It's just that...
You're not the only one. It's like everyone I meet has to go out of their way for me. It's how things have been for my whole life. How everyone feels like they have to be around me.
What do you mean?
It happened the day Dad picked me up in that blizzard 12 years ago. It happened the day when I lost control and scared you 8 years ago. It happened the day Master Kafai cut short my years of training. It even happened only last month, when everyone risked their lives so that I, and I alone, could be saved.
That's not...
Looking back on my life, I've been too fortunate for my own good. All I've done is bask in the kindness of everyone I know, giving nothing worthwhile in return. On the contrary, I've brought nothing but misfortune to them instead. Like I'm some kind of curse. I don't have the right to be treated kindly. I don't deserve to have others putting themselves out for me. Not when I seemingly can't do a thing to return that kindness and am too weak to fight for them when they need it most. None of this should have ever happened. If I'd known it would, if I'd known things would ever become like this, then I'd never have gone to the academy to begin with.
Stop. Do you seriously mean all that you've just said? The right to be treated kindly? And who exactly decides who has that right, whatever that's supposed to be? I don't look out for you because I expect something in return or because I want you to defend me. Acts of kindness aren't debts to be repaid. I look out for you because I care about you, because you're important to me. And I'm sure that Mother, Father, Master Kafai, your classmates, and all of your other acquaintances feel the same. So please, from the bottom of my heart, please don't say that you don't have the right to be treated kindly. Of course you do. You just don't realize it. You care so much about the people who matter to you. So why can't you understand that those people care just as much about you? Think back to that day when you were separated from your classmates. What kind of expressions did they have when you parted from them?
They... They were smiling. They all believed that we'd see each other again. That no matter what happened along the way, we'd all be reunited. And that one day, we'd move forward together as a class again, just like we did before. Maybe there's nothing wrong with feeling lost and impatient from time to time. I believe in all of them. And if they see me as worthy of their trust, then I'd like to try and believe in myself too. We're classmates. And more than that, we're friends. So long as I keep moving forward, I'm sure that somewhere, someday, our paths will cross again.
I think so too, Reen.
Thanks, Elise. I feel like you gave me exactly what I needed to move forward.
You don't need to thank me. I didn't do anything. All I did was remind you of something you already knew. It was your time at the academy that gave you what you needed. I admit, I am a little envious of your classmates, though.
Still, I'm really thankful to have you in my life. I might not be the most dependable brother in the world, but I'd appreciate it if you kept looking out for me. And while it might be a ways away, I'll keep striving to be an older brother you can be proud of.
I'm always proud of you, you know. And of course I will. I see all's well that ends well. Your Highness?
And you've brought Celine, too.
Hope you don't mind us barging in. What brings you here? I heard that you were both here from Toval, so I thought I might come along and see how everything was going. Besides, how could I pass up a chance to help cheer up Reen? And oh, what a heartwarming sight I happened to stumble upon during my humble quest. Considering you were waiting for the perfect time to make your grand entrance, stumbling is a stretch.
You were waiting?
Were you listening in the whole time? Elise, have you ever known me to be so unladylike? But I see you've done a fine enough job for the both of us. Oh, the bond between siblings is truly a miraculous thing. Not only do you share an unwavering kinship, but you'll always have the tender embrace of skinship within reach. I'm so jealous.
I appreciate your concern, though. Still, Elise is one thing, but I'm not entirely comfortable sharing the springs with you, Your Highness.
Oh, come now, Reen. This is the bath. Ranks are stripped once our clothes are, as far as I'm concerned. That being said, may I join Elise in washing your back as well? This would make the perfect chance for us to finally strengthen our bond as honorary siblings. Wouldn't you agree? Your Highness, please! I'm sorry, okay?
Huh?
About, things. I'm not exactly all that cognizant of human feelings and the like. Emma often points out as much. But thinking back, I have done some things that were probably quite insensitive in your eyes.
Look at you.
Huh?
If anything, I should be the one apologizing. I shouldn't have taken my frustrations out on you like that. Can you forgive me?
Forgive you? Why would I need to? I really don't get you sometimes. What was that? That sounded like...
I know exactly what that was. It's that magic knight we ran into on the way down the mountain.
I had a feeling Toval's art wasn't enough to finish it off. But the fact it's still active isn't the only problem. It sounds like it's coming this way.
Okay, let's get back to it then. Okay, so basically we have to go through the Ymir Valley in the direction we went to get the fishing book. Oh hey, we're gonna get a party member. Finally. I couldn't have handled all the enemies by myself forever. Oh, don't tell me. Yep. Okay, we got two new party members, Tobal and Elise. I'm going to talk about them very briefly. Okay, but first we get the tutorial on how to customize the battle order of party members, but basically the one thing we need to be cognizant about is the tactics menu, where you can organize the starting position of your party members. It's actually good if you want to play very strategically. Yeah, you can buy healing items from shops, but it's much cheaper to make food, basically. And it's actually a very valid point. Anyway, I think it's time we talk about the new party members before we proceed with everything else. First, I say we're going to talk about Reen's sister, Elise. Elise, stat-wise, really isn't too spectacular. She does have a good amount of Art Strike, which is the magic stat of this game, but in all honesty, she is pretty standard. She doesn't have a lot of combat potential. I mean, she can deal damage, yes, but she's definitely no Reen in that department. However, she will be more useful as a healer, and that's mostly because of her craft Holy Squall, which will allow to heal in a large area around her 60% of the party HP, as well as healing all status ailments and debuffs in stats. It's actually very good. It does cost, I think, 50 craft points, so you can use it like 4 times in battle if she doesn't get hit, but regardless, it is actually pretty good. Her other craft, Swallowtail, is essentially the same as Reen's Arc Slash, as in it hits on a straight line that you can aim and can inflict delay. However, the damage is calculated via magic. As you can see, it does say magic attack. When that happens, it means the damage is not calculated with strength, but with Art Strike. She does come with her S rank, Fragrant Garden. It's a weaker version of Reen's Azure Flame Slash, without the burn and just a little less damage. She does have a B in Slash attack rank and A in Pierce, which is okay, I guess. So she's actually somewhat decent for unbalancing, but other than that, she's not very suited for combat, in my opinion. She does come with the Aries Master Quartz, which we cannot see, unfortunately, but if I remember correctly, it does have some leniency towards Art Strike and Art Defense, because it's a magic-oriented quartz. It heals HP while you use damaging arts, which he has. She comes with Aqua Bleed, which is the water version of Firebolt, basically. And she has equipped Luminous Ray, which is a straight line Mirage element attack. And Thelas, which is a... basically, think of it as a Phoenix Down kind of magic spell. It's the tier spell, but with the ability to revive from KO. She can equip other quartzes if you really want. However, these ones in yellow you cannot move around. Overall, I think she's actually... well, she is weaker than Reen, but that's mostly because she's level 37. But she will grow much faster compared to the others. So she does have a pretty good chance of actually becoming somewhat good in this early portion of the game. And now let's talk about the other party member, the interesting one in my opinion, Toval. Now, Toval is actually very art-oriented. The fact that he has over 700 in Art Strike actually speaks volumes, especially considering that he actually has some good crafts that, like Sphere Break, that do make use of that good stat, magic stat of his. But let's get things down in order. Toval is a guest character, which will be a higher level character compared to Rin and the other members of the party that will accompany, well, the main party, basically. It's going to be a theme for most of the game, actually. He has a B rank in 3 attack ranks, which makes him pretty solid overall. And the crafts he comes with, double strike, is as impaled, it can easily sealed, and it hits twice, and can make sure that you can get the unbalance much better, which is the chance for a follow-up attack. We'll get a tutorial on it later. Dizzying blow, which can inflict feint, increase the chance of getting the follow-up attack, as well as having a lot of power and an extra 50% chance to cause a follow-up itself. Is actually very good. But Sphere Break is actually the one that I tend to use the most. It has a medium area of effect. It's a magic type attack that you can set. It can easily cause mute, and it can also lower the art defense of the enemies by 50%, making them much weaker to magic, which is perfectly fine considering both his S-craft and arts are all magic based, of course. His S-break is actually very good for this portion of the game. Rebellion Storm hits the entire arena and is actually more powerful than the Azure Flame Slash of Rin in terms of raw power. As you can see, it's a triple S attack, while Azure Flame Slash is a double S plus. So yeah, Toval is actually going to be very useful, especially in a pinch. And there's also another reason for that. He comes with a personal accessory, the Quick Caliber, which will cut in half the casting time for magic, making him charge up magics and executing them much faster than any other character in the game. And I'm not joking. Speaking of arts, he comes equipped with the Wind Master Quartz. Again, we cannot see it, but this one does have an inclination towards Art Strike for sure. It has a hidden ability, well, hidden, not really. He has an ability to prevent ailments and stat down, but it triggers on a set percent chance. At level 1, I think it's actually 20 or 30. I don't perfectly remember. But anyway, he has Airstrike equipped from Wing, but he also has Analyze, Chrono Drive, which will increase our speed and movement, Spark Arrow, which is a line version of Airstrike, and Golden Sphere, which is the space version of Soul Blower and Luminous Ray. It hits on a small area you can set. Analyze is basically the battle scope item. Also, you can see that all his slots have one of the 2 yellow holes filled in. What is that gonna mean? Who knows? Anyway, yeah, Toval is actually a very good character for this portion of the game, and he's probably going to be my go-to guy for taking care of the majority of the enemies here, in order to make Rin and Elise slightly stronger so that he can actually hold up in battle. Anyway, like I said, now let's move on with the game. We've been stuck here for quite some time without any actual action. So in order to proceed with the story, we have to go through the Ymir Valley, which is in the gate right in front of us. If you want to do any last-minute preparation, I suggest you do it now. But you can always come back to Ymir in case you need supplies. In my case, by checking through the item menu, I think I might need a couple of things. But first and foremost, and I'm going to do it right in front of you, I am going to unlock the free trial sets to get some items. And that's about it. There was something else. No. So this is how my item menu looks like right now. It's not great, but all things considered, I've seen much worse. If you need any item, you can go in here. Unfortunately, we cannot improve our our weapons and armors, since Elise and Toval are actually cannot be swapped in equipment. But before we head out, you need to take a look at this, the footbath. If you get in here, you let time goes by, and you will heal HP, effort points, and craft points all at once. You may want to make a couple of trips back and forth just to increase the craft points, so that you can use them freely to grind. It's actually a much cheaper way to completely heal up, because the alternative would be going to the Valley's Echo and pay the inn. Anyway, I think I'm pretty good right now, so I'm gonna drop a save right here. And let's go to the Ymir Valley. I want to get this segment done before I stop recording for tonight. Alright then, let's head in, shall we? Okay, the first encounter is actually scripted. And this will serve as one of the last combat tutorial. Yeah, combat links and link abilities, yeah. And you can use the tactics menu to set up automatically the links you want to create. Okay, so let's take care of this one. As always, I'm going to try to get the double or triple advantage.
The advantage is ours!
And here's the tutorial on how link attack works. Whenever the enemy is unbalanced, or when he gets hit by a critical, it will trigger a link attack. Basically, you make a follow-up attack with the party member you're linked with, dealing extra damage. There are two types of link attack that we can do. The regular one with the X button, and the rush attack whenever we gather bravery points. For every link attack that we execute, we get 1 bravery point, and when we get to 3, we can actually use the rush, which will allow us to not hit not once but twice. The tutorial on how weapon type works: basically, the higher the weapon type of one character and the higher unbalanced efficacy of an enemy, the higher the chance the unbalance will happen.
My turn.
So for now, I'm just gonna use Gale to hit them all.
Second form. Gale.
Okay, I executed a slash, so now we get a link attack with Tobal.
You're done.
If, like you just saw, when you do a link attack and you deal enough damage with it, you will automatically execute a finishing blow and take the enemy down. Okay, so I'm gonna take care of this using the Analyze command.
I can do this!
Here you go!
I'm gonna try and use the Analyze art as much as I can in order to avoid consuming money for the battle scopes.
I can do this!
Especially considering that battle scopes this early in the game actually don't come cheap.
That's that. Let's keep moving.
Now, as you can see, and this is something you may want to take notice of right now, you see the experience gains, right? Basically, they vary, and it depends on the level of the enemy compared to yours, And there is a hidden multiplier that will change depending on whether or not the levels are even. In this case, Rin is pretty much the same level as the enemy, so it gets normal experience. Elise is lower level, so she got a lot more. Toval, being way higher level, gets a lot less. Basically, this is a good way to actually balance out the party without having to overgrind. And I actually like that. But anyway, let's move forward now. Okay, I kinda rushed through this one. Combat links are a very crucial part of the battle system. By mastering it, you can actually get some very sick combos. And you want to get them memorized. There are some combination of abilities and some characters that are better linked up with one another that you may want to keep in mind later down the line. Also here says that certain enemies are much weaker to different weapons. Sorry about that. I tried to keep it in. Also, critical damage. It's basically a guaranteed unbalance and follow-up. Except when you use S-crafts, let me tell you that much. If you use an S-craft with the critical, you are not getting a follow-up. And yeah, here says that Toll has the quick caliber, which cuts in half the art cast time. Okay, so,
Are you alright, Elise?
oh, sorry.
Oh, don't worry. I'm fine.
Just warms your heart, doesn't it?
If you say so.
Okay, so to continue, we have to go upward, but first I want to go here. There is a treasure chest and another enemy.
Oh, chest. I wonder what's inside.
Now's our chance. Let's get him.
Compared to the first game, it's actually much easier to
My turn.
immobilize the enemies on the field. New enemies, no feline. Most enemies here are weak to fire. I'm actually gonna do this.
Ready to go.
Nope. Nope. Analyze.
Right!
There we go.
Let's move.
And sure, why not?
Second form. Gale! Now's our chance.
Gotcha.
You're done.
I'm up. They're off balance.
Got you.
Easy enough.
You nailed it, Reen.
Thanks, but that was all you.
And as you can see, if you finish up with the Link attack, you get a special interaction between the two Link characters. Yeah, Toval won't be leveling up anytime soon.
What a splendid chest!
And we get a lighter. The lighter, I think it's an accessory that prevents freeze status. Yes, indeed. I'll give it on green just because. Also, you may find breakable items in the dungeons. You can break them and they may spawn a very random item. In this case it's Mirage Cephid, but it can literally be anything. Items that you can purchase from shop, U materials for crafting weapons, anything. Okay, I'm gonna take this chance. Ah,
We must cleave through!
damn it, it saw me.
I can do this!
Okay, you may have seen, but there's another hidden type, the Snow Wisp. These enemies have a high physical evasion, so you may want to hit them with magic. And I think that's exactly what I'm going to do, but with Swallowtail.
Sure thing.
Okay, that was a drop. Gonna use Analyze on you. skip it.
Here I go.
Okay, you're going to cast. I won't let you.
There. Ha!
Okay, I'm gonna get hit 3 times. Okay, that's not good. 1. Okay, I'm glad I gave him the lighter. That art, Frost Edge, could have frozen me. And the fact that resist popped out means that I could have gotten frozen, actually.
Here you go!
Here I go. Ha! Now's our
And here's
chance.
the rush command.
Now's our chance.
Understood.
You can recover bravery points easily indivisibly in the game, so it's not really a problem whether or not I use them.
You nailed it, Reen.
Thanks, but that was all you. Sit. Sit.
A warmer, okay.
Ha! 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 Ha!
Right, let's get started.
Okay, for a moment, I thought I was hidden from the back. Okay, I'm gonna try and cast Talus on Reen.
Activate.
Let's move.
But first... I'm gonna use a battle scope for this one.
Yeah.
That way I can use Toval's turn to actually take them down. Frozen fungus, huh? Okay.
I'm up.
I can take 2 down at least.
Here you go.
Oh, crap. They survived.
Thanks.
Yeah, Talus is actually better than Tyr. It does come at a higher EP cost, but
Ready to go.
it's worth it. Okay, let's try Sphere Break. Yeah, let's do that.
Try this. Fire!
My
Nice.
turn.
Right.
And down he goes.
Shall we move on?
Yeah, Elise is about to level up. That's nice and all. Let's move forward. Okay, I'm actually going to use Reen's Tear to get some HP back. Let's fight this guy.
Now's our chance. Let's get him. Let's move.
Now, one thing you may want to do actually is try to take down
There.
groups of enemies. Groups between 2 and 4.
Just activate.
Because some enemies... defeating more than 4 enemies at once will not give you a higher multiplier. So either go 2, 3, or 4. No more.
That's that.
And there's the first Elise level up. We're gonna get a lot of those right now.
Every little improvement counts.
As you can see, she's mostly magic oriented, like I said. She gets very little physical defense, okay-ish HP and strength, but 13 points of art strike and 9 points of art defense. That's actually a lot. Okay.
Oh, a dead end? We should cross the bridge we just passed. Oh, what a splendid chest!
Okay, this right here is a monster chest. You open it, you trigger a fight,
Enemy sighted. Let's take him out. Let's move.
and you fight multiple enemies at once. You also get another enemy, the Frost Biter. This is actually somewhat strong. But here's the thing. There's a trophy that you can get for defeating 8 enemies all at once. And you can actually do it very easily right here if you use Toval's S-Craft. And I think I'm gonna do just that. But in order to do that, I'm gonna have to weaken some of my enemies first. First I'm going to use Motivate to increase total CP just a little more.
Right!
I'm gonna have Elise use a battle scope on the Frostbiter,
There!
making a little bit of setup. There we go.
Sure thing.
I'll have Tobal hit one of the Frostbiters so that I am positive to take them down and also recover the last CP I need. All the better.
Got you!
Then I'm going to use the S-Break and trigger Rebellion Storm. Like I said, doing this won't give you a ×8 multiplier. You will get the bonus for a Vanquisher, which is the single ×4 for 4 enemies. But if you want to get the trophy for 8 enemies as early as possible, this is the only chance you get.
Time to stop holding back. This is gonna hurt. Rebellion Storm! Sorry, that's it for you.
There it is, pieces of 8. We actually get a crap ton of experience. I think Reen leveled up?
I did it!
Yep, he did. And from this chest we get a Zerum powder. This is actually a pretty good healing item. It heals you from a KO, heals for roughly 10,000 HP I think? No, all HP, and also heals 100 craft points all at once. Right now I'm going back to heal my Toll's craft points. I'm gonna use turbo mode for it. One thing to know about being KO'd, when that happens, all of your craft points are completely cancelled. So when it happens, you go KO, even if you revived, your craft points will be set back to 0, and that's not always fun. Anyway, if you want to restock... Oh, no wait, this is Annabelle. So if you want to restock, you just have to go back to Plover. I'm going to take this chance and actually restock on a couple of things. I'll get this later, like I said. And I'm going to buy a little bit of assorted grains and coarse rock salt, which are the things I need for the salty onigiris, and I'm actually going to cook them. Now, if you remember, I mentioned a certain trick that you could do in order to farm money, and you need Elise for it, because Arena is actually the one who can make the unique dish for the onigiri, but we don't need that. We need the superb one, and the only way to get it is to have someone with great affinity, like Elise, but not for the unique one. So I'm going to cook all the salty onigiris I can do, and I'm gonna have Elise do the cooking.
Shall we begin then? Ooh, it turned out wonderfully! It's finished.
Okay, basically what happened is we got 9 tricolor onigiris. The one thing you can do is actually sell them for quite the hefty chunk of money. And let's do some math real quick. In order to make a salty onigiri, you need 100 mira for assorted grains and 20 for rock salt, which means 120. If you can make it a tricolor onigiri, you can sell them for 150, meaning you get plus 30 mira for each one of them that you sell. It's not a perfect method, but if you're lucky enough, you're gonna get tricolor onigiri enough to buy literally everything you want. Alternatively, you can sell the Zerum powders you may have up to this point with the monster chest as well as the free DLCs in order to get some early cash, but honestly I'm fine like this, really. The tri-colored onigiris, I won't be needing these, so I'm gonna take the chance to make a few more for money purposes. I'm gonna make 10 more, and then I'm going to see how it goes from there.
Shall we begin then? Ooh.
Exactly like before. Sell them all. Okay. So let's get forward now. Now, ideally, I'd like to get to the boss area with Reen around level 45, so I might be doing some battles before then. Also, double checking. Yeah, I got all the monsters for this area, except for the boss, which we'll get to later, but we'll have all the time in the world to get there. Now that you cross the bridge, go down the slope, and you'll be getting another chest. Getting somewhat lucky with the random drops. 3 materials, that's actually pretty good.
Enemy sighted. Let's take them out.
How was I eating them? I don't know.
Try this.
Triple kill, that's good.
Here I go. Sit.
Please allow me.
Ouch.
My turn.
That hurts, you know.
Okay, it's safe for now.
Okay, that was good enough, I guess. It doesn't really matter to me what level is Elise by the time we finish this dungeon, personally.
Let's get him.
But the higher level she is, the easier it's going to be for me to take care of the boss. And yes, like I said, physical attacks have been nerfed from the first game, so you will see me miss quite a lot.
I can do this.
Especially with Gale, considering that it seems like the Gale craft of Reen actually got a superior debuff in accuracy.
Second form.
I don't know, I find myself missing almost all the time with it.
I can do this.
At least that's how it used to be.
Shall we move on?
Okay, she got level 39.
Every little improvement counts.
Little improvement, you're actually making big improvements, I like that. Okay, let's go up this way. Can fight this guy again.
The advantage is ours.
Here I go.
Using Gale against Snow Wisp is not gonna do me any good. I'm probably gonna miss.
Form. Gale.
Oh, I actually hit. What the hell?
Sure thing. Try this.
Like I mentioned, don't be afraid to use
That's it for you.
don't be afraid to use crafts, especially considering that you can always go back to Ymir and heal up. Okay,
The wind seems to be picking up.
We should hurry before the sun begins to set. Now's our chance. Let's get him. Here I go.
like you're seeing from me attacking the enemies on the field, I suggest hitting them twice every time, because it actually stuns them for much longer periods of time.
I can do this.
No, I'm not gonna do it. Now, if you don't want to hit any enemy, just select the move option and then press the X button again. You'll basically swap your turn.
Right.
Okay, I
Here I
didn't
go.
want to do that, but whatever.
Second form. Gale. That's that. Let's keep moving.
Okay. Tiara Bomb, okay, that's actually very good. 6,000 HP. This is going to be basically a last-ditch effort to heal up. Use only in case of emergency. We'll be getting more later, but for now,
The advantage is ours.
Here I
you
go.
may not want to use them all that often.
Gale!
Okay, 2 misses out of 4.
I'm up! Try this.
Let's move. That's that. Let's keep moving.
I really don't want to comment. Like I said, it feels like Gale sometimes has a very lowered accuracy compared to other moves. I don't know, maybe it's just me,
The advantage is
but
ours.
it does happen
move.
to me quite a lot.
Second floor. Gale! Now!
Gotcha!
I can do this. Yeah.
Ready to go. Sure thing. Phew. Well, that's
Okay, you will probably see me use turbo mode right about here because I really don't want to waste too much time. The episode has been over 1 hour already. Looks like we're gonna call the Ashen Knight Valimar in order to help us fight this guy. But wasn't he damaged? I guess only time will tell. Okay, down here, there's a frost spider, but most importantly,
What a splendid chest.
a poison quartz. Now, this is actually useful. No, sorry, ornament quartz. What poison does is that automatically gives all arts, physical attacks and crafts a 10% chance of inflicting poison on top of every other status affliction that it can deal. So, for example, now Gale, which can inflict seal, can also inflict poison as well. It's not too bad, and
We shall be your
on
foes.
Reen it works wonders considering he's a major craft user.
Second form. Gale!
I'm up! Try this.
Fire!
I can do this.
And now that they're weakened in art defense, Swallowtail is going to deal heavy damage. Well, not as heavy as I hoped, but better than nothing.
Let's move.
Reen, you can take care of this one.
Sure thing. Now!
Got you.
And down he goes.
You nailed it, Reen.
Every little improvement counts.
Alright.
Sit.
Okay, let's go up so we can go towards the boss.
It sounded close.
Let's get yourselves ready.
Yep, that sounded very close.
Let's get him.
Let's move. Second form. Game now. Now's our chance.
Leave it to me.
The funny thing about Rush, as you can see, is that you can actually hit more than one enemy if they're close enough. So you might want to remember that.
Try this. Phew. That's that.
Okay, Reen got to level 44,
Great.
and I can appreciate it. Treasure chest. 50 of every Cepheid type. Okay, I like that. Okay, here we got the Orman charging station. So in the next area, we're going to be facing the Magic Knight once again. But I think I'm going to stop this episode right here. There are a couple of things I want to do off screen before I get there. First and foremost, I want to get Reen to level 45, which is my average for this area. My average on normal mode, so I'm gonna try and do the same things I do on normal mode on hard as well. Plus, I want to go back to Ymir, recover craft points, as well as probably restock on a couple of healing items while I'm at it. Anyway, I thank you so much for watching. This has been Bahama Raven, and I will see you in the next video, where we're gonna face the Magic Knight and hopefully start our quest to find our missing classmates. I will see you very soon.